Hello, this is RV Vagabond Jerry, and in this video I want to talk about the question I get the most from people, and is what I consider a dreaded question because it's a hard question to answer, and I'm not even sure what the correct answer is. And I get this question mostly from people I meet in the RV community when I go to RV rallies or any places where RVers congregate, like in RV parks and such. And the question is, where are you from? And I'm just not sure where I am from. I was born in Bushnell, Florida, but at about 1 year old, my family moved to Seguin, Texas, where I was raised and graduated high school there. Then I lived in Austin and Houston, and then I moved to Salt Lake City, lived there for 15 years, and then I moved to the San Diego, California area and lived there for 24 years. Then I bought my motorhome, I retired, I left the state, I gave up my California residency, and I haven't really established residency in any other state. I did get a Texas driver's license, and I used my brother's house in Lavernia, Texas on my driver's license, and that's where I get my mail, but I have never lived there. And when I come back to visit my family, which is mainly my brother and my mother here in Lavernia, I don't stay at my brother's house. I don't park my RV there and stay there overnight. I never have. I park in various other places around the area. There's some RV parks in the area that sometimes I stay at, and then sometimes I just boondock at various places around town. Most of the time when I'm visiting Lavernia, I stay at the city park, and they've got this really large parking lot here, and I've stayed here many nights and I've never been bothered. By the way, there are no signs here with any parking restrictions, so I think I'm good. But in the evening, this parking lot will be full of cars where parents come out to watch their kids play baseball. You might sort of call this a home base. I do come back here fairly often between trips to pick up my mail and visit my mother. It's a nice but average little city park, and it's right next to the high school. And right over there is the football field. There's a gazebo. So it's a nice place. There's a sign, and it has a disc golf course. Where I'm from is this vehicle right here. This is my one and only home. I feel like I'm really from every place I've ever been in my life. And right here in Lavernia, I'm not from here until I leave. Now, most of the time when people ask me, where are you from? They're just asking for conversational purposes. They're not looking for documented information. So really, when someone asks me where am I from, I can really tell them anything, and they would know the difference. Now, if I tell them I'm from Lavernia, that's not good enough. The next question is, where's that? Well, it's about 20 miles from San Antonio. So to avoid that, I just often, when someone asks me where I'm from, I say San Antonio. Even though I'm not even the least bit from San Antonio. Another kind of an annoying thing is when I register in RV parks, I have to give them my address. So even RV parks don't quite get the concept of a person living only in their motorhome. And where my motorhome is changes from week to week, sometimes day to day. And I also get nervous when a policeman or some authority stops me and asks me, where do you live? Because the correct answer is, I live right here in my motorhome. And that's the truth, but that's not really what they're looking for. They want a landed address. And the only landed address I have is my brother's house here in Texas. even though, like I said, that's not my address. I don't live there, never have. And I have been stopped a couple times, and they really haven't given me any trouble over it yet. So, rather than people asking me, where are you from, I would much rather people ask me, where do you live? I'll be happy to tell you where I live. I know exactly where I live. And if you want to ask me, where have I been lately, I'll tell you that. Where am I going next? I'll tell you that. But where am I from? I'm really not sure. And that is a bit of a dilemma for people like me, a full-time traveler. Good day, folks.